it's going to probably ask you permission.
There we go.
Excellent, Joseph. We have Joseph Kimbrough with us today, and he's an expert in real estate. His company is Apex Real Estate Investments. Joseph, could you to start up tell us a little bit about the Apex Real Estate Investments, what you do, and what type of people you run into that work with you?
Okay, so Apex Real Estate Investments is a privately held equity investment company that invests in apartment buildings in Texas in the Southeast markets. So all landlord-friendly states because we like our investors to get paid on time. And then we specifically invest with Class B, Class C, and some Class A buildings as well. Um, Typically, I have accredited investors that invest with me, but I'm also able to take non-accredited investors as well.
Oh, that's really interesting that you're working with both types of investors. What's the size of the projects? What's the range that you look at in these apartment buildings and uh, office buildings and
Unit
such?
range, unit range, or price range.
Oh, price range that you're looking at. Yeah. Is there a range that you look at or?
Yeah, so we buy based off the doors in the area. So it really
Ah,
depends. Like what is the actual price of the area, and we can get it lower, then we try to get it lower too.
of
Um,
course.
that's
Of
another,
course.
yeah, exactly. But we typically go anywhere between 100 to 200 units is what we'll purchase for apartment buildings. And just for an example, the last project that we purchased was 160 units, and we
Uh,
paid roughly $33 million for that property.
how hard was that to negotiate?
That wasn't that difficult to negotiate just because of my team. My team, they have 20 years of experience and they themselves own over 10,000 plus units. And so they're the lead sponsor on every deal. As a matter of fact, they even have a mentoring program where people pay them 30 to $50,000 just to be mentored by them. So that's how knowledgeable they are, and that's who runs every property that my fund acquires.
Well, you're running with some very, very experienced people, obviously. And when you have a team behind you, it just it helps you move more, make more intelligent decisions, everything. That's
Yep.
fantastic, really. What got you started in real estate?
So I got started in real estate back in 2018, but what got me more interested in going that way though was my now wife. She had, took me to a Robert Kiyosaki meeting. Robert Kiyosaki obviously wasn't there, but I got the experience of watching all these people pull out credit cards and pay 20, 30, $100,000. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I went to YouTube University and started learning how to wholesale properties. And so I got into that. My initial goal was to go into like flipping houses, but I always wanted to get into apartment buildings. I just thought that I had to be a multimillionaire already to get into it. And that's before I realized that wait, you can raise capital and acquire these buildings. And so after doing wholesaling for a few years, I ended up meeting the right mentors and set up a fund and then acquired my first apartment building within that same year, which was a $33 million acquisition.
That is awesome, Joseph. You got off to a great start. You looked at some other programs, obviously, through the Robert Kiyosaki organization. You saw what they were doing. But I think it's a smart move. I think you made a great move because it's funny how YouTube has so much education on it that if you just search for it, you can find some great
Mhm.
coaches that give away, 95% of what they know just off the
Yep.
get-go. But the main thing is the relationships, isn't it? Sounds like you made some great relationships along the way.
Oh yes, definitely. I know a lot of people in the single family area here in the DFW area, and even some people in Houston as well. And then I've come to know a lot of people in the commercial side of things as well.
Oh, what do you think of the economy? Is it going to be more opportunity, do you think, that might happen here?
It's definitely going to be more opportunity that comes up. So the way it works is with these interest rates rising last year and then even this year as well, that actually has put a bit of a squeeze on newer um, operators on these properties. And I
Oh,
know
right.
some, yep, it can cause deferred maintenance. So eventually they will have to come off those properties as they get squeezed more in the cash flow area. So when they sell, now they're selling more at a discount, and companies like my partners, they go and pick these properties up, and it creates a lot of opportunity for our investors to profit as well.
So I feel that you're positioned for the timing, the right time, the right place,
Yep,
geographically,
we are positioned.
that you really do have. Yeah, you got a really good handle on it. That's fantastic. I've always said that if you run with the big dogs, become a big dog yourself. I think you kind of follow that line where you just found people who were
Yep,
smarter and willing to teach you and bring you along. And some great success already. So you're on a great track. And real estate is where a lot of people create their wealth that way. And apartment buildings, pretty fantastic because you're dealing with a lot of bigger numbers and those doors that you're buying, well, that kind of mitigates the risk, doesn't it?
yep, definitely. The more units that you can acquire, the less risky it is. And in fact, banks are more willing to give a loan on something like 100+ unit apartment building than they are on a 1 unit single family house. They know
Got
they'll
it.
get a
Got
profit
it.
off that building.
Yeah, then the numbers are there. There's a history probably and that sort of thing as well. So
Yep.
they can bank on the numbers pretty well. Yeah. Well, I think you're in a very promising time because when there's a real estate tumult going on, where things are getting crazy, there's always opportunity in real estate. There certainly is. And it sounds like you're on the right end of the stick, so to speak. Awesome.
Yep.
Uh, do you have any advice that you could give to someone who's looking to get started and how they might want to get started?
As far as getting started in real estate as a whole
Yeah,
or in
yeah, or
apartment
working with,
buildings.
well, apartment buildings is what you seem to specialize in. So there's people out there that would love to learn it. And, there's the Grant Cardones of the world that
Hmm.
preach apartments, that kind of thing,
Yep, I'm
that's the way
familiar
to
with them.
go. Yeah. So
That's
that's,
definitely the way to go. And there's three different ways you can actually get started investing in apartment buildings.
uh-huh.
Um, the first way, the first way would be if you just have a bunch of cash, then you can go acquire the whole building yourself. If you're already a multi-millionaire, billionaire, that's one option. But that's not everybody has that luxury though. The other
Oh,
option
most
is
people don't.
yeah,
Yeah.
most people
Right.
don't, unless you Bill Gates, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But then the other way is you can raise capital. You can go out there, find a building, acquire, get the building under contract. You can go raise the capital, put the third party property management into the building, have them running it. You still have to oversee them. So it's not all hands off when you do it that way. That's one way, and that's the way that most people get into it, in fact, when they if they want to be on the active side. And then the third way to get invested into apartment buildings is to invest with me.
There you
Literally,
go.
yeah, literally, you can invest into what I'm offering into Apex Real Estate Investments, and then we acquire 2 to 4 apartment buildings per year in those areas that I was telling you about, Texas and the Southeast markets.
What is the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me is my phone number, 469-458-9295. And then you can also reach out to me through LinkedIn as well.
Oh, very good. We'll put that information at the end of the talk here so that people have it and they can write it down and get to you. I'm sure that people would
Yep.
have a lot of questions, and certainly you're in a very good field at a time when people are looking for what's working, and not
Oh,
everything is
there's also
working.
another
So
way.
yeah, yeah.
There's also another way they can reach me is you can go to my website, investinapartmentsnow.com, and then you can schedule a call with me through there.
Okay. Investinapartments.com.
investingapartmentsnow.com.
InvestmentinApartmentsNow.com. Did I get that right?
Nope. Investingapartmentsnow.com.
Okay. We'll get that information on the last screen. So
All
we're
right.
all good there. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.